Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, some things have changed in my setup here. Now you can actually see the piano, and I'm going to be putting up videos on occasion. I'm not sure on this channel. I might actually start a new channel where I'm playing things and actually showing a second camera angle and recording things, perhaps improv, perhaps new studio pieces of various types, maybe new songs, maybe covers, things like that. I thought it would be a new thing to be able to feature to you guys that might work out. I got this idea after looking at Dany's riff video because I found I was trying to recreate a bunch of those riffs. Well, the only thing that I need to clean up, it looks like, is now you can see all the pedal boards jumbled up underneath the amp over there on the floor there. Sorry about that. So I got a bit of a mess there right now that got revealed by this new setup. Anyway, that's something to be looking at for the future. It should be fun. Anyway, today I had actually planned on looking at a different video, but I had technical difficulties and I'm running a little low on time. So I'm doing a shorter video. This one is actually Dany, again, showing off something having to do with her guitar setup, but it's her pedal board, and it's from 2016. Now, we've had a lot of questions. You might have one too, like, why are you featuring Dany's pedal board from 2016? Well, we've actually wondered what she was using at the time. You know, it's one of the things we don't know much about. We have looked at other gear videos for more recent things like her Kemper Profiler or her previous Helix 6, but this is kind of a mystery still. And she has this rather large pedal board at the time. So I thought it would just be fun to have her go over what's in that pedal board and just to know, you know, because we see a lot of shows from back in this time period. Yeah, it actually dropped on March 31st of 2016. So very early in her career. All right, so this is probably what she was using right up until she got the Line 6. With that, why don't we take a look? This comes from Guitar Gear, by the way. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, just know that I'm always looking at content that is non-musical in nature and features bands that are touring today. So if that interests you, please subscribe so you won't miss anything. All right, let's go ahead and check this out.
Hola, me llamo Daniela Villarreal, soy la guitarrista de la banda The Warning y estoy en Guitar Gear para presentarles mi pedalera.
Oh, look, she's in a guitar store.
En mi pedalera tengo 4 overdrives, que viene siendo el Ibanez Tube Screamer Mini, el OCD Full Tone, el MXR Stack Wild Overdrive.
We're just going to stop this for a moment so we can look. Look at all those pedals. First of all, look at all the overdrives. So even though she appears to be in a guitar store, she's saying that this is, in fact, her pedal board. Maybe she brought it along because she was looking at new guitars. Who knows? Maybe somebody out there knows the whole story there. If you do, by all means, share it. Okay, so Stubbs OCD Full Tone, that's that right there. MXR Overdrive, Polytune 2, EVH, Eddie Van Halen, Overdrive, Eventide.
Y el Eddie Van Halen Overdrive. También tengo un Wampler Velvet Fuzz, un TC Electronic Hall of Fame Reverb, un TC Electronic Corona Mini Chorus, un TC Electronic Flashback Triple Delay y un TC Electronic Polytune Tuner. También tengo
Gotta have your tuner.
H9 Harmonizer. Y de este lado tengo un
And harmonizers, okay.
Un pedal de volumen.
So harmonizers were actually a question that came up in that video that just dropped, where Dany was showing off the riffs from Keep Me Fed, because there was a section where it sounded to me like the tuning changed. Well, actually, it was harmonizers.
Voz, un switcher de marca Gigrig modelo G2 y un sistema inalámbrico Shure. Y aquí, con este botoncito, puedo activar y
That's so she can walk around without the cord in her guitar.
Bueno, toda la pedalera es controlada desde este switcher de aquí. Este switcher es muy user friendly porque te hace todo literal. tiene dos preamplificadores aquí, uno para el postgain y uno para el pregain. O sea,
nice.
Gain, antes de que entre el carrito y después de que salga el carrito, el sonido. Bueno, y pues digamos que para una canción necesito activar el OCD y el reverb. En este caso el OCD viene siendo el número 3 y el número 10 acá. Y así.
See, I'm glad it's not just my setup that buzzes like that under certain circumstances. So just take a look for a moment at the number of pedals that are there and how complicated it is. I mean, it's a little like landing a plane, isn't it? You know, you have the whole cockpit in front of you there. And then you compare that to when she got the Line 6, the Helix, and then later on when she got the Kemper Profiler. Just a much simpler interface. You know, you've got one box instead of all of these. So yeah, this is quite a number of them. I don't know that I can count all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, we've got something approaching 20 pedals here, it looks like.
Así de simple, ya tengo un preset hecho. Entonces eso está muy padre. Y también tiene un controlador MIDI que a mí se me hace espectacular.
Oh, MIDI.
Porque me sirve mucho con el Eventide, que a mí en lo personal me encanta. Porque tengo ya 99 presets programados para poder usar y puedo poner uno en cada preset diferente que yo tenga.
Ah, so she can create her own presets with that.
El Eventide. Me fui aquí a los settings del pedal, MIDI settings y Program Change Receive Map. Entonces aquí, digamos que en el preset 1 de mi switcher yo quiero poner el efecto 25. Y nada, le pongo back y ahí está. Vamos a ver aquí. Le pico al preset número 1 y ya está programado el efecto número 25. Y a mí me encanta este pedal, la verdad. Todas las posibilidades de efectos que pueden salir de aquí son increíbles. Le puedes modificar el tiempo, el tono, el espacio. Aquí tengo muchos chords, phasers, wahs, flangers, de todo. Y también puedes hacer tus setlists y presets. Aquí puedes cargar 95 efectos, los que quieras, y puedes hacer otro y cargar otros 99. Entonces puedes escoger cuál de todos quieres cargar a tu...
Very, very interesting. Okay.
Todavía me falta mucho por investigarle y explorar, pero...
Essentially, when she's talking about MIDI, she's talking about a system where you can set up a switch to actually pull up a particular preset. So I have to look up a little bit more having to do with these pedals and that switch and the particular model that she's using. But that's the general concept with MIDI, is that you can pick something from over here. It's almost like a more manual version of Helix or Kemper Profiler. You know, it kind of does the same thing, but more invisibly on those boxes. Here, you're actually setting stuff up and assigning certain effects to a switch. So it's the same type of thing, but there's just a lot more equipment involved here. And she's using an app on her phone to control it all.
A mí me encanta este pedal. Bueno, también, este Eventide en especial controla el tap tempo del delay en mi pedalera. Entonces, yo el tempo que le ponga aquí se va automáticamente a poner aquí y ya tengo todos mis delays.
Tempo, wow.
En el tiempo de la canción.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Experimentar con los...
So what that means is that if a song is at a particular tempo, it will slow down all the delays accordingly, you know, or speed them up as needed. As a musician, that's actually a really nice feature. That's one of the things about delay, digital delay, is that with every song, you actually need a different amount of delay in order for it to sound like it's the right delay for the right song. Usually when players are using delay, unless it's a really short one, you know, a la rockabilly or slapback or something like that, if it's something that goes on for a little bit, like ding-da-ding, 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 then the tempo of the song is the standard, and then you either, maybe you go 3/4 of that tempo for a delay. You know, when it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, like that would be 3/4 of the tempo. Things like that. So if you then switch to another song with a different tempo and you still want to have that same type of effect and that same type of spacing within the song, this will do it for you automatically. That's very nice, actually. Much less monkeying around at the gig.
Sonidos que te da el whammy. Y pues también está el armonizador. Ahí está el tono original con el tono normal. Entonces están dos notas tocando el tono original y una octava arriba. Y te hace que se escuche así bien chido. También puede ser una octava
abajo. Going down an octave.
En mi pedalera uso 3 pedal trains, 2 aquí en la base y uno aquí para levantar.
And those are just the boxes that it all sits in.
Son 2 pedaleras porque así en el tamaño que están caben perfectamente en una maleta carry-on para así cuando viajemos no tener que documentarlas y poder subirlas con nosotros al avión.
Oh, that's nice. Carry on.
Cables, este es el de audio y el de la corriente. Y este es para el MIDI.
Maybe it's not carry on, but at least it makes things easier.
Puede ser mi favorito de los 4 overdrives que tengo, es el que más uso. Me encanta porque se escucha bien lleno y bien fuerte y es más como para el tipo de canciones que yo toco. Me lo modifico aquí tantito.
There you go. Long live Ozzy.
Y pues, esta es mi pedalera. Muchas gracias.
Very cool. Perhaps at some point I'm going to need to go back to this video and actually do a lot of stills and a lot of research. But at least this video is now made, and so if you want to do that, you can do the same thing. If you want to try to recreate that pedal board. I will admit, though, looking at that, it does seem a little bit unwieldy. It seems a little bit like it's a lot to deal with. Like, sure, it works well, it looks like. I mean, there's a lot of good things in there. But it's got to be a little overwhelming. I mean, just to look at even, you know. It's a whole lot easier to just set up every song the way you want it within something like the Kemper or the Helix that came after this. But it's still fascinating to see what she was using at the time, what kind of technology and how she was applying it. But yeah, I can see why maybe she occasionally had pedalboard problems at some of the shows. We noticed some of that going on at the Toluca show, the Rockfest Mexico from 2017. Presumably this is the same setup she had at that point, because I don't think she had the Helix until about 2019. And then she didn't have it for much longer than, I don't know, 2-3 years. By the time they started touring again after the pandemic, she had the Kemper. If anybody wants to correct me on that, by all means do so below, okay? And give me your thoughts on this as well. If there's any other information you can shed on this pedalboard setup that she's got here, by all means do so. Because it was informative, but it also went very quickly. You know, so if you've already done some of the homework, by all means leave your information below. It'd be interesting. Of course, if you have other suggestions for me for the future, by all means leave that as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will catch you on the next one. All right? Take care, folks.